President Trump says he's under the impression that torture works and that he wants to, quote, fight fire with fire to counter terrorism.
President Obama said the U.S. does not torture. Will you say that?
Well, I have a general who I have great respect for, General Mattis, who said, I was a little surprised, who said he's not a believer in torture. I have spoken to others in intelligence, and they are big believers in, as an example, waterboarding.
You did tell me.
Because they say it does work.
Bottom line, let's just remind everyone, these enhanced interrogation techniques, illegal, banned. With me now, John Kiriakou, former CIA analyst who was actually jailed for being the first to blow the whistle on the CIA's use of waterboarding. John, good to see you. Welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me.
You know, just out of the gate, I just want you to comment on the fact that, you know, we're talking about this thing, the very thing that you shine this light on is the very thing that the president apparently is considering.
I'm very disappointed by that. I believe, like many Americans, that we had this debate a decade ago. The passage of the McCain-Feinstein Amendment in 2015, I thought, put this behind us. So I'm disappointed that the issue has popped up again.
The issue, too, I was talking to Admiral Dennis Blair yesterday on the show, who was President Obama's national intelligence chief, and he was saying to me, you know, Brooke, there is no evidence either way that torture works or doesn't work, but I understand you say that's the wrong question to even be asking here. What's the issue for you?
I think that the issue is it moral, is it ethical, and is it legal? We know that it is illegal. It's frankly been illegal since 1946. We executed Japanese soldiers who waterboarded American prisoners of war after World War II. We jailed a soldier in 1968 who waterboarded a North Vietnamese prisoner. Just because the Bush White House in the early part of the last decade decided that it was legal didn't necessarily make it so, and that question was settled finally in 2015 with McCain-Feinstein. So it is illegal. But is it moral and ethical? The CIA Inspector General says it is not. The American Psychological Institute says that it is not. The National Council of Churches says it's not. I say it's not.
On top of all of this, you know, apparently this report that the Trump administration is considering reopening the CIA's black sites overseas, where said brutal interrogations, you know, of these terrorism suspects were carried out, you know, in the early 2000s. Other reports indicate that Defense Secretary James Mattis and CIA Director Mike Pompeo were blindsided by this memo. I mean, you spent 14 years, John, at the CIA as an analyst and a case officer. What really happens at these black sites?
Well, under the Bush administration, terrible things happened at these black sites. The Bush administration called them enhanced interrogation techniques. Many of us called them torture techniques. But that's not necessarily what needs to happen. In the event that these black sites are reopened, and President Trump could reopen them with the stroke of a pen, they would have to, CIA officers would still have to carry out interrogations according to the letter and the spirit of the law. And the law is what is delineated in the Army Field Manual is all that's permitted in these interrogations. Now, the CIA can do what it's done for decades, and that is effect a rendition or an extraordinary rendition and send prisoners to third countries where they actually do torture. Yes.
Do you think, depending on what could change, last quick question, that these are men and women in the field would comply?
Oh, I'm confident that they will not comply. We know from the Senate torture report that people inside the CIA objected. Some of them curtailed their assignments and went back to headquarters, which is a career-ending move. And some of them actually resigned from the agency. I think that CIA officers today, if ordered to carry out a torture program again, would simply walk away or refuse to do it.
John Kiriakou, as always, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
More on our breaking news here that President Trump and the President of Mexico mutually, according to the U.S. President, calling off the White House visit next week over this border wall. What happens next in this key relationship here? We'll discuss that. Also